The year is like, my son's 13, yeah, so 2010. We were doing a lot of transactions, like probably like 89, chugging towards 100. My wife's pregnant, and she happens to be our operations manager, which is dope because I don't have to pay her. I realize there's gonna be some friction, because when your operations manager is pregnant and about to have a child, and I don't have anybody else to help me, that creates a problem. And yet I was resisting fixing the problem. Anybody besides me ever know they need to do something and they resisted doing it? Yeah, see lots of heads nodding. Yeah. What I was doing was two things. The first one was stalling. I knew there was something that needed to be done, but I was afraid. The second one, for anybody who speaks Spanish, I was being tacaño, which is another way of saying what? Cheap! I didn't want to spend any money. Do I have any other cheapskates in the room? Yes? Everybody should be raising your damn hand, okay? And I didn't know what to do. I knew something needed to be done, but I didn't know what to do. So what I did is and it also wasn't acceptable for me to go backwards, for me to do less. So what I did is I went out and got a really good guide, somebody who had already been through that before, to ask him, what should I be doing right now? He said, the first thing is if you want to stay married, you need to hire somebody, okay? And then he gave me SOPs on how to hire that person. He gave me guidance on what to pay them, right? And now I no longer worry about things like that, as we have an organization that's in 15 states with multiple different staff members and people that help us, and a payroll that's over 6 figures. If you understood what was keeping you stuck, you could accomplish anything that I have in probably less time. We're gonna go over the 5, what I call the 5 assassins of success, or let's say the 5 assassins of progress. With the goal and objective being that once you can identify which ones or which group of assassins are getting in your way, you can unlock that unleash and get your unfair share of the business. Who's up for this? Say aye. Aye. I'm sorry, am I in the right room? Who's up for this? Say aye. Aye. That's better, okay? High energy equals high income team. You've never met somebody who's like, aye, who makes a lot of money, I promise. Okay. So as this says here, first of all, this is the good shit, not the bullshit. Most people teach mindset because they can't teach tactics. Okay? They'll sit in a room and be like, you know, your mind. I'm like, you're an idiot. You got to show me how to do something, bro. Like, you saying like it's all mindset is like giving me a bow and arrow and being like, go fight that war over there. You see what I'm saying? You got to equip me with what I need, right? First, let's define what we're trying to do here. Success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile goal or objective. Notice, there's some key things in this definition. Progressive. Does that mean immediate? No. How many of us get pissed off because it doesn't happen right away? Yeah. Yeah, all the time, right? It says progressive realization of a worthwhile goal. Okay? Being the best drug dealer in town is not a worthwhile goal. Right? A worthwhile goal or objective. Progress meaning forward or onward. Movement toward a destination, worthwhile, worth time, money, effort spent, value, importance. Okay? Now, we can easily understand this. Now, how many people besides me have ever been given a plan, have it stared you right in the face, and did nothing with it? Yeah. Why do you think that is? You think it's because you're not smart?
Overthinking. Impatient.
Oh, he said thinking.
Fear of failure.
Fear of failure, okay. What if I told you that we're not thinking beings that feel, we're feeling beings that think?
Yeah.
What emotions get in the way from you taking action? Name them real quick.
Fear.
Fear, that's one. What else?
Laziness.
No, what else? It's not an emotion.
Fear.
Insecurity. How many people have ever hesitated about posting something because you didn't like the way you looked? Yeah. Everybody should be raising their hand. You understand? It's not the technical work of how to do something that stops you. It's not knowing that you need to do something that stops. It's something internal. Is this making sense to you? Yeah. Okay. The bottleneck of any business is the psychology of its owner, including mine. The bottleneck of any business is the psychology of its owner. Okay? So, let's get into these assassins. This first one is called the staller. Drags their feet when opportunities come knocking. Okay? You get invited to go do a talk. What is your initial response? I don't know, bro. Somebody invites you like, yo, this listing that's like you've never listed that price. You're like, can somebody come with me? You could attend an event, make an important contact, get on a big stage, digital or physical, to get to a bigger audience, get asked to be on a podcast, speak at an event, attend an event, with leaders around. When opportunities pop up for the staller, they never take them and they never say no. Here's my question. What emotion keeps people stuck here?
Fear.
Fear. So what I was doing, this one used to plague me all the time. So even though my wife is pregnant, I know it's coming, and yet I'm doing nothing. I'm stalling. The staller won't let you make big decisions. I made a decision, guys. I sold back my interest in a company and lost $42,000, and I had to cap twice because I had 17 pendings. Do you know that this industry is set up that's basically contractual arbitrage? They know you don't read ICAs. You don't even know what that stands for, most of you guys. Independent contractor agreements, you don't even read them. They know that. And as such, what they do, they also know that 65% of you, okay, haven't, money's a thing. So they're like, what can we do to keep people from not going, leaving? Let me keep some of their money if they leave. And they don't even realize because they didn't even read it. Isn't this fantastic? But it stops you from making, if I had allowed the staller to stop me from making this decision, we wouldn't be at 325 agents. Does that make sense? The second assassin that gets in the way is called the speed demon. The speed demon makes you believe that you progress by making decisions as quickly as possible. You hire the first person that's standing next to you, your aunt, your uncle, whoever. Oh, I need somebody. I'm in pain. This is stressful. You're a body that is breathing. Come work with me. Really fast, right? And then they forcefully, they try to pick technology and make it work because they picked it really fast. They didn't do any homework. They picked a CRM and they're like, rah, this is going to be great. I always love it when you just get overexcited about CRMs. I'm like, you realize it's not going to help you do any more business, right? You have to actually talk to people. Never taking the time to reflect on the mistakes that they're making. And then they say things like, there's no good help. You can't find good people. You know what they're really saying? I have no system for finding good people. I just hire whoever's standing next to me at the time. And I never reflect. Pain plus reflection equals progress. You know what the problem is? We never take the time to reflect. Speed demon ensures that you keep making mistakes. So here's what I want you to ask yourself. And if anybody wants to volunteer, it's cool. Is there a mistake that you keep making? What is it?
Not following up.
With?
Prospects.
Okay, so you keep making that mistake. And what is the story that you're telling yourself around follow-up?
I need new business, go find someone else. They're not ready yet.
Got it. So underneath it is a fear that there's not enough. Did you come from an environment where there's not enough? Are you afraid of that in any way? Are you afraid of resources and needing to gather them and hoard them up? Yeah. So we all are to some degree. So what I'm aware of is that fear of there not being enough and having to gather up the resources is causing me to ignore the follow-up. Meanwhile, 70% of all the appointments will come in what? Follow-up. But because I'm so I gotta go find, I'm ignoring it. So the next one is the supervisor. The supervisor won't allow you to delegate things. You'll hire a TC, but then you'll end up doing the TC's work for them. He's like, don't look at me, bro. Right? You have a full-time assistant, but you take tasks away from them versus letting them do their job. Can you see how this would impede progress? Because by the way, what do we get paid to do in this business? I know there's other businesses, but in this business, the value chain, what do we actually get paid to do? Yeah. Prospect, which leads to?
Appointments.
Yeah. Lead follow-up, which leads to? Going on appointments, which leads to?
Sign contract.
Negotiating deals, which leads to? Guys, I need you to be very clear. That is the only thing you get paid to do. Anything else that you're convincing yourself you get paid to do is not accurate. Ta-da, you notice the energy in the room? They're like, damn it. I like going to, be with the videographer when he takes the pictures. I'm like, why are you a professional photographer? What exactly are you doing there? I go to the home inspections. Why, are you a home inspector? What are you doing there? How long could somebody stay with the supervisor wreaking havoc on them? A whole lifetime, bro. This gets in the way, the supervisor. Hovering. Here's the next one. The saver. Yep. This one affects the entrepreneur who is only saving money and not reinvesting in themselves or their business. They're stashing away a nest egg. Yep. They never invest in courses, never invest in classes, never invest in staff. Okay? Once the saver gets a hold of you, you created a false sense of security by holding a nest egg because you got a little money in the bank. Right? But our business is constantly changing and evolving. Do you know when I realized, okay, how many people besides me realize that media is a thing? Like it's like important. You should be paying attention to it. Yeah, everybody collectively realized that. How many people besides me, like I was 2 years ago, have no idea how to actually do it? Yeah, everybody's hand should be raised because you'll have like 2,000 followers, okay? It's a fact. So he's like, yeah, it's true. So I realized the same thing. I knew how to sell real estate in high volume, but I didn't understand media, but I knew it was important. See, because our boy here said when he was invited here, the person that invited me he had a relationship with, you know what the second thing he said was, I know that guy. I have seen him. That's the power of media, right? The saver tells you to save money, right? Save your money, which costs time. You agonize over a $100 purchase that could save you 10 hours. Do you know when I was in high volume selling real estate, like people be like, yo, we need condo docs. I pay somebody $100 to go get it and take it wherever they need to go versus me getting in the car. Do you realize what we did with lockboxes? Because what would happen is we'd have to pay somebody to go put it on and pay somebody to take it off. My wife, who's a genius, she said to me, hey, you know, if we buy them on Amazon in bulk, they're only 10 bucks, and at closing, we'll just leave them there. Agents call me like, hey, you coming to walk through? Nope. What do you want me to do with this lockbox? It's my gift to you.
Take it. Like that idea.
Right? But the saver tells you like, no, no, no. You gotta like not spend the money, which ends up costing you time. You agonize over small purchase. You agonize over hiring a transaction coordinator. It costs $400 a file. It'll save you like 15 hours of your life that you could be prospecting and finding more deals or shooting content or whatever. Right? That just doesn't make sense. It's an employee mentality. It's like a lower vibration, right? Now, the last one, assassin that gets in the way is the Self Medicator. The Self Medicator pushes you to self-sabotage to celebrate and to self-sabotage to escape. So to celebrate, you have a really good month. You know what you do? Have a big meal, have a couple drinks, mess around, right? Go out, yeah, we're celebrating, babe, yeah. And then that screws up a week. Then when things don't go your way, guess what you go back to? I had a tough month, I need a drink. I need to go eat, feel better. So what does that do to people? What roller coaster do they end up on? And how much does this impede progress? Tremendously. Because you're up here and you're high and then you're like boom and you're bringing yourself back down, you're doing all this other stuff, it's throwing you off your schedule, you can't be consistent, right? Then when things aren't going good, you go back to that, which only makes it worse. Do you understand? The self-medicator sneaks up on you in the form of celebration. A night of celebration can easily turn into sleeping late, robbing you of your progress. Do you know I didn't have a TV in my house for 12 years? Do you think I was focused? Yeah. I didn't have any hobbies, bro. There's no fantasy football. No, like chilling, dialed in. Because if you'll spend, I started when I was 26, I'm 43 now. You could literally, in this vehicle, work for 18 years, never have to work again a day in your life. But how serious are you about that? Like, well, I don't know. Right? So not only do we have like spurts of cash in this business, because most of you guys don't prospect regularly.
I think complacency.
Okay, interesting. In what way?
Complacency, like for instance, like you'll have a month that you'll make really good money.
What's really good to you? Whatever you say is fine. I'm just generally
Most
interested.
I've made?
Yeah.
37.
Okay, that's okay.
10,000
Yeah.
in 1 month.
Yeah. And now here's what's true. I think that's, how old are you?
22.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic for being 22. Everybody would agree? Look, boys was like, bro. All right. So, and I don't mean this in any way, shape, or form egotistical. If I made that amount of money in a month, it wouldn't be a good month. So what happens is what leads to complacency is I know at 22, you are the fastest, quickest, strongest, and you make the most money of all your peers. So do you know what that means? They all buy your bullshit. You have nobody around you that's like, bro, what are you doing? No, that is not acceptable. You could be doing twice that amount. Or no, after you made all that money and I'm going to be playful, but I know that generation. They make that much money and they go on a trip to Costa Rica for 3 weeks. I'm like, no, that is not the fucking answer. In movies, whenever a man has a problem, where does he always end up?
Bar.
Isn't that weird? That's the message that we get? And in all of the messaging, when people are celebrating, what's present? Isn't that interesting? I think that's fascinating. And that ends up impeding. Do you see? Now the challenge is for you, and I'm sorry, your name?
Kevin.
Kevin, what I would propose, this is my suggestion, whether it's me or anybody else, you need very strong male role models in your life. Because what will end up happening with the amount of money that you're making, if you're not careful and you're around the wrong people, it will not lead to good things. If you want to see somebody's true character, you know what you give them access to? Money, sex, and power. Does that make sense? So you need strong, in my opinion, faith-centered male role models as a guide. I'm wondering, are you guys a little bit more clear on what exactly is getting in your way? Now, let me hear some actionable steps. What are you going to do with this information? Because I don't want you to leave here and be like, that was cool. What's the actionable step? What are you going to do?
Delegate.
Okay, that's a cute answer. Yeah, that was a politician answer. I'm going to delegate. Give me a very specific answer.
I'm going to hire a full-time assistant.
Okay, and by when? Ah, the hesitation.
End of the month.
Yeah.
Just kidding. By the end of next month.
But yeah, because I'm going to start at the end of the month. So this is beautiful, and I'm glad we're being playful, but there's also a little truth in that. Because you notice, you see what's coming up, the staller, the saver, like you're watching it happen. He knows, he's a smart person. He knows everything I said to him is true. But what did I tell you before? Emotions trump facts. So what I would suggest to you is like, if you recognize this, you see what's happening. I would be thinking about strategically, how could I recoup more of the money that I'm earning so I can reinvest it in an assistant? That's a strategic move. Then I would also want, who could I get proximity to that could help me systems-wise, CRM-wise, to get that set up? Then hire somebody. But I would also try to make that happen as fast as possible. Because legitimately, based on what you shared and what you're doing, you could be doing, no lie, no BS, twice that amount with an assistant in place. Like we were carrying 15 to 20 listings at a given time, 15 to 20 pendings. I didn't talk to any of the pendings when they were under contract. Very rarely, because I had the right person in place. I never inputted any listings. So here's what I'm gonna say, right? This is a quote, right? So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. The most repeated verse in the Bible is don't be afraid. The second most repeated verse is I am with you, and the third most repeated verse is God is good. What is interesting is what everybody said here, the thing that was stopping them was fear. Nothing to sneeze about. What everybody said here is the thing that is stopping them is fear. You're not made in the image of something that cowers. Yeah, right? We say that, we'll sit in a place, but we don't act that way. We get 27,550 days on the planet. 75 years in the industrialized world, women have a tendency a little bit more than men. I'm 43, that means I've used more than half. Whatever's left, I'm gonna sleep through a third of it. If you sleep 8 hours a day, it's a third of a day. All that is to demonstrate is it's not that much. So why are you waiting to go after what you actually want? If you realized how quickly people forget that you were here, 100 years from now, everybody in this room will be dead and everybody who knows this will be dead, right? The only thing that makes you not qualified for what you want is your unwillingness to learn. So if you sat here and you're like, that was dope, that was cool, and you don't create that system, you're gonna stay the same. And what'll happen is you'll settle for low-level significance. low-level people telling you you're the man. My hope is that this would be helpful to you in some way and that you can take that action. If you need help or assistance in doing that, like reach out to us because that's what we're here to do. It's me that answers the DMs. It's me that gets back to people, right? And we're here to help you guys. So
what's going on, team? Wanted to give you a recap of EXPCon 2024 here in Miami for those who were not able to attend. Some of the main